Today we talk about exciting news, hot takes, and bam, bam, bam! All this and more. This is Nerds with Mics. Oh, yeah. Welcome to Nerds with Mics. I'm Travis.
I'm Justin.
I'm Jared.
I jumped ahead because I saw your head needed a moment.
I figured I would try to bring the energy that would just really shake things up today. You know, we're already on the rails and off the rails. So, but yes, today we have actually a ton of talk about. I didn't really write notes, so I think you know what, I'll wing it. I don't want to re-record it, so
we'll do it live.
We're doing it live as always. But anyways, as I said, I'm Travis. For those of you that haven't listened or watched this podcast before, this will probably be your first and last time. But for those of you that are regulars and put up with our shenanigans, either weekly or bi-weekly or whenever we decide to record, man, I'm coming with some energy today. But anyway, I think because we're recording at like 1:30 as opposed to like 8 o'clock at night. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, that's fair.
Different vibe during the day.
Yeah, absolutely. But anyways, before we get into our topics, we always like to talk about what we have been up to. So I'm going to pass it over to you, Jared. What have you been up to, good sir?
So obviously Severance, which has been insane this season so far. Looking real forward to getting some more answers from a lot of questions that have been opened up by this one. And if we don't find out what is at the end of that hallway by the end of the season, I will riot. I'm just saying.
The dentist office.
Oh, it's the dentist office? Got it. It's everybody's worst nightmare.
Extraction. Yeah.
Other than that, I won't say this until somebody else mentions theirs because I didn't realize that somebody else here watched this show, but also been watching the new season of The Rookie, which has been pretty solid so far. If either of you haven't seen it, or if anybody out there hasn't seen it, definitely recommend giving it a watch. Other than that, been getting back into War Thunder again. As much as I hate to say that, it's a game that I get angry at every month, a few months or so, and say I'll never go back to. But apparently, I'm a glutton for punishment. And then, other than that, been playing a decent bit of Civ, which not great, not terrible, definitely better than the Civ 6 at launch. But I agree with the same sentiments that everybody else has. It seems like Civ was definitely a console first kind of thought, and then more of a PC port is what it feels like. The UI is the worst part about that game. Other than that, the age transitions are a little bit different because you'll just lose half your troops and half of everything else. So,
well. All right.
Anything else on one today?
I am. All right, Justin. What about you, good sir?
I also have been watching Severance. Just a great show. And one thing I want to add to that is reviewers, when they had the show and reviewed it, only had episodes 1 through 6. And this week is episode 6. So after this week, completely uncharted territory for everybody involved. So, because I know some reviewers dropped some hints. So, and based on what I know, I have an idea of what this episode's going to be like. But also still watching Lost. Incredible show. The SNL 50th anniversary. They celebrated it this weekend. We watched the concert on Friday. Have you all seen that?
I'm not.
No.
Actually, I saw the Adam Sandler clip.
Okay. They also, my favorite part was when Lady Gaga and Andy Samberg started doing the song from A Star Is Born, but then they go into Dick in a Box and a whole Lonely Island medley. And it's almost like a musical, but like Eddie Vedder did Michael Bolton's part for Jack Sparrow. Bad Bunny was there. T-Pain was there. It was really cool. But hearing someone as dignified as Lady Gaga sing Dick in a Box was pretty awesome. And then the actual anniversary show on Sunday was great. Still playing a lot of Marvel Rivals. Dipping my toes into Metaphor Refantasio. It hasn't grabbed me yet, but I'm also still really enjoying it. But I might pivot more into Kingdom Come or Avowed, which comes out, as we discussed 30 minutes ago. So yeah, but Marvel Rivals is still my main game right now, though.
Have you played Kingdom Come yet?
I booted it up, played maybe 30, 40 minutes and loved it, but thought I'm in Metaphor right now. I can't jump into another big RPG, but
it will take all of your time once you get like into it.
Yeah. I kind of want to pivot, but I'm gonna try to be good. Travis, what about you?
So for me, it's been pretty busy. So I've also been watching Severance. I didn't realize that season 7 of The Rookie started up, so I've been trying to catch up on that. And then also still been dabbling a little bit in Path of Exile 2. However, I dove really back into The Last of Us 2. I had all intentions of beating the game before we got into recording today. However, I'm right at the end that I didn't get quite a chance to finish it, but I will say it has gotten better since taking over as Abby. So that's been good. The reason I had to force myself to
Nice.
because I had started Final Fantasy VII Remake and was really getting into it. So I really want to get kind of like with you with metaphor. I was like, I can't get too far into this because I still want to beat Last of Us 2. So I decided to go back and give that a try. So I've been loving that. And then finishing the what little bit of unpacking I have left. And then also my buddy Alex and I went and saw Captain America, Brave New World. It was just okay. It's what is come to expect with most modern Marvel movies now. It honestly felt like a continuation of the Captain America and Falcon TV show. And then also the green screen towards the end was not. Their green screen just continues and continues to get worse and worse. So much so that I won't get into details, but I decided to go back because you all have seen the unbearable weight of massive talent or whatever that movie's called. Have you guys
The
both
Nick
seen
Cage
that?
movie?
Yes.
No, I haven't seen it, but I know of it.
Well, there's a reference between him and Pedro Pascal about like they're having a conversation of what do they think the best movie ever made is. And one of the responses is Paddington 2. Well, I have not seen any of the Paddington movies, so I decided to go back and start Paddington 1, which was great. Came out in 2014. The special effects in that movie is better than any Marvel movie that's been out since post Endgame. So I'm just gonna say that. I'm just gonna lay that right there.
Paddington's awesome, dude.
Yeah. That movie I honestly think is slept on, and I'm sad it's taken me so long to watch. I am excited to get into Paddington 2, and I also know that Paddington in Peru just came out. So
two is like a 10 out of 10 movie. I'm not even kidding.
2 in my opinion is better than 1.
Yeah.
Did you guys tear up?
I don't think so. At one point it had a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't think it does anymore, but it's
all I know good. Without getting into spoilers, all I
99.
know is I was like, well, in order for Paddington to go to London, something bad has to happen. And the first 20 minutes of that movie is pretty sad. Not gonna lie. Yep. Kind of gave me up vibes. Give me real sad.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyways, but outside of that, that's pretty much all I have been up to. So let's go ahead and pivot into some recent news. And Jared, I do believe you have our first story for us today.
Yes, so this keeps popping up because it's something we talked about a few weeks ago, and then I mentioned last week how Kingdom Come kind of proved that maybe people don't crave live service games. But then Ubisoft's CEO does it again and comes out with an announcement today and says that they plan to focus on live service and open world games year after year.
Oh,
and I'm just curious how that makes you all feel that even like after the success of a full release game that's not live service, how do you feel at this point? It's just a money grab, right? Like we all have to agree that it's just a money grab.
Well, Jared, you have to realize the two best games that came out last year were Skull and Bones and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. And those are two
I actually think I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Those are two live service games, and they dominated reviews and they won awards, and this makes sense from a business standpoint, right? I think they sold really well too.
Oh yeah, I think it was like 4 billion copies or something like that.
Yeah, they broke GTA 5's record. GTA 6 they're afraid to release this year because of the success that game had.
The more and more I watch Mythic Quest and I think about microtransactions and all that, the more and more I'm just like, this is the landscape that we are living in. I don't know if either one of you have started the new season of Mythic Quest or not, but
I'm only 2 in.
Yeah, it's this season's pretty good so far.
Ubisoft bankrolls that show.
I know, which is hilarious to me because
Yes.
it's honestly just, especially this season, it seems to be that they're basically making fun of themselves.
Yeah.
But I just hate that we're in this state of microtransactions and live service games.
I think it's just as a society as a whole, we're in the like subscription kind of mindset of like everything's a subscription. And I think that's the push that like video game developers are trying to make is if people are willing to pay a subscription for everything else, then
Oh, I'm willing to
Well,
for some things.
correct. That's how I am.
Yeah,
Some
not
things.
everything.
well,
Like, there's
the
a
thing
reason
is,
why I don't play WoW. Not gonna pay
yeah,
for it.
You just have to
yeah.
play enough so you get gold and pay for it, though, Justin. You just have to invest like an entire work week and you'll be good to go.
Never.
Um, and unfortunately, this isn't the only company that is kind of transitioned to this way. We also know that Warner Brothers seems to kind of go this direction as well. Yes, if you go to the rest.
You're underwater, Travis. It happened earlier, and I was going to mention it, but it kind of fixed itself. Now you're underwater again.
Underwater and talking about Warner Brothers.
Oh,
Man, that's
are
better.
you having issues with my audio?
Yeah, a little bit.
A
Not
little
anymore
bit.
though. That sounds
Now
good.
it sounds good.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't really know what's going on. That's my bad.
I just
Anyways,
wanted to warn you so you didn't listen back to this later and be like, well, why didn't anybody tell me? They're not real friends.
no, you're good.
At least you
time
and
I
I
kept
play
looking
games
at
together, though,
Jared
Travis.
to
Like
see
I
if
think
he-
that makes us real friends. I mean, I still have yet to play Marvel Rivals with Justin or
I played with Terry the other day. He hopped in with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's play. Let's play Marvel Rivals.
But anyways, what I was
right
trying
now.
to say
Cut the podcast
before,
off. We got Rivals to play.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah,
for tuning
before-
in. Be sure to like and subscribe. And no, I'm kidding.
yeah, but what I was trying to say before I went underwater, so my apologies, is that unfortunately, Ubisoft isn't the only company to do this, right? Warner Brothers is obviously going that direction, right? With the Justice League game. And obviously they have some games that they could go back to, the Shadow games, like the Shadows of War, Shadows of Mordor, the whole Nemesis system, all that type of stuff would be great for a single player game. And I know there's been a lot of speculations whether or not we're even going to get a sequel to Hogwarts Legacy just because it's not a live service game. So who knows what's really going on.
Honestly, a Harry Potter live service game does sound kind of cool.
I will say,
Yeah.
you mentioning the Nemesis system also really upsets me because they have a trademark on that, and it is possibly the best system for like something like that in gaming, and no one else can use it, and they won't take advantage of it.
Yeah.
I don't think games as a service is necessarily always a bad thing. I think Suicide Squad was just a bad game. Like, I think that there are plenty of games, like Fortnite works, Sea of Thieves works. I mean, I think you could even say GTA Online works. So like, I don't necessarily think it's always a bad word. I don't think they should be taking beloved properties and turning it into this filth. Like Suicide Squad should have been a single player experience in the same vein as Arkham, because you have Arkham, the 3 or 4 games that they made were phenomenal games, and they basically crumbled any good faith they had with the gaming community with Suicide Squad. Like, I don't trust them anymore. I don't trust them. They announced the next game. It's rumored to be Batman Beyond. Like, I have zero faith until I actually play it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that's my thing is I kind of agree with you. Like, not everything that's live service is inherently bad, but I just worry that we're getting to a point where they're going to try like everything, not everything, but a good majority of stuff is going to try to come out as live service just to try to get as much money out of people as they can.
Yeah, no, I think that's absolutely true. And I agree with you. Not all live service games have to be bad, right? But it just seems that it's becoming a trend where more and more people are leaning in towards live service games as opposed to great single player experiences. So,
Yeah.
But only time will tell if that continues to be the trend. But I don't see it slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah, and I did say not all of them are bad, but I do go into each one with a very high level of skepticism. So, like, I don't want to make it sound like I'm defending games as a service.
Yeah.
It's the opposite. I'm just saying, like, there are some that work, but there are way more that do not.
Yeah.
Or they flounder and die in a year. I mean, Concord, where's that?
Dead.
Lasted a week, if that.
Dead. Yeah, absolutely.
It's wild.
All right, Justin, you have, I think, our next story.
Yeah, speaking of Ubisoft and things we love, I do love Rainbow Six Siege. But they announced over the weekend, as they were preparing their year 10, which is crazy, roadmap, they announced Siege X, which is, well, we don't really know what it is 100%. They're going to give more details on March 13th, but it's going to be what they call, quote, a new era and the biggest transformation in the game's history. It was just a cinematic trailer, but it showed some new gameplay mechanics, like them running along the side of the building while rappelling, which may not sound that exciting, but the movement in Siege after you played some newer games feels very slow and cumbersome.
Yes.
So an engine update would be very welcome at this point. Siege, clearly, if you played the game 10 years ago, it's not the same game today. It's a little more sillier. Some goofier operators exist, but it's still grounded more in the, as far as shooters go, it's not like you drop a clip into somebody. It's usually a few bullets will do the trick. So it's not like a complete
I miss those
mess.
Vegas days.
I know, I do too. I am excited for Siege X, whatever this ends up turning into. But I do know they could easily let me down.
Do you think we're getting a new game, or do you think it's going to be like an Overwatch 2 situation where we're just going to get an update on the same?
So I want to say that they took a dig at Overwatch. I didn't actually hear it myself, but I noticed in the comments, people are like, "Oh, what shots fired at Overwatch?" So I don't know exactly what was said. I do know in the clip it showed like a helicopter flying over, and I don't think there's going to be vehicles. In fact, I would hope not. But someone on Discord theorized that the maps are going to be much larger and can potentially be 8 to 10 player games now, like 8v8 or 10v10.
That would be insane.
Yeah, I mean, there's like 1,000 operators now. It would be nice to expand it a little bit. 6, 7 even would be nice. That way you could actually branch out your op usage a little bit.
Maybe take it to instead of banning 1 attack, 1 defense for each team, everybody gets to ban 2 attack, 2 defense, something like that.
Yeah.
I did see the clip of the new operator though, and it looks like that is going to be a pain in the ass.
The doors?
The doors.
Yeah. I kind of like that.
You would.
Doors, Travis. They're doors.
Hold the door.
I was about to say, let's just make everybody sad and say hold door, but...
Yeah.
But yeah,
Right.
I figure we'll have more to talk about this after March 13th. That's when they're going to show more. We'll actually know what it is and what it entails and when we should be able to play it. So yeah, not a whole lot to report now, except that it does exist.
The one thing I forgot to mention before you move on to the next story, Jared, that we didn't talk about that happened last week is we got PlayStation's most recent, or Sony's most recent state of play. Did you all happen to look at any of the things from there, and did you have any things that you walked away excited about?
I need to go back and watch it. I'll be honest, I forgot that it was last week and then didn't watch anything on it, but I will go back and watch
Feels
it.
like a lifetime ago.
What a bunch of losers. They did announce that they are they're remaking or remastering, I guess. What's
Days
the name
Gone.
of the game? Days Gone, which if you already own it, it will be a $10 upgrade, which I know Justin and I has taken advantage of that a few times with some of the games, especially with The Last of Us and the Horizon games, I feel like, which isn't honestly a bad deal. But I was pretty excited to see they're bringing back the, which I think they had talked about it, but we got a little bit more gameplay, but the Onimusha games, the old Capcom like slash 'em style games. Pretty excited about that. We also got an extended look at Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, which I wasn't excited about this because I actually never played 3. I started it and I was like, this just isn't for me because it was a lot of the survival elements to it. I played the first and second one. I also played Twin Snakes, so I liked the franchise, but I never played 3. But I think once this comes out, I will go back and play 3 because it looks pretty awesome.
I have the collector's edition pre-ordered. I'm very excited.
Nice. Yeah. We also got more details around Borderlands 4. I mean, am I excited? Yeah. Could I also care less? Yeah. Don't ever let Emily hear that. She'll probably kill me. But
You'll find out real quick if she still listens.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. But outside of that, I mean, One game that I was pretty excited to see that I didn't think I'd be excited about is that new Sonic Cross Worlds racing game. Looks pretty dope. It's kind of like the Sonic Mario Karts game. We also got some DLC for Life is Pi, and then I think we also got an announcement for Life of Pi 2, which that's a Souls-like game where you play Pinocchio. Life of P, not Pi.
Life of Pi is the movie with the CGI.
Lies of P. Yeah, Lies of P. Yeah. But evidently, this franchise is so popular that
I like how you and I both, Justin, were like, "Is he gonna catch it?"
Yeah, Lies of
Pi.
Liza Minnelli.
Great movie.
Yeah. I don't know. The first few minutes of that movie, pretty intense. But anyways,
have you played Lies of P?
I have played a little bit, but not a ton.
The boss fights in that game are insane.
To the membrane? Got no brain?
Thank you, Travis. I'm going to go ahead and see myself out now. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. We also got an extended look at Split Fiction, which I am pretty excited about. That game looks pretty good. Even though the CEO of that company he's real weird. He's kind of douchey too. He's got major bro energy that I just can't get behind.
Reminds me a lot of Travis for some reason.
I'm pretty sure I have the least amount of bro energy in this group.
No, I just meant douchey.
Oh, fair enough. Guess I'll see myself out as well. Okay, bye.
Run this by yourself, Justin. You got it. We'll see you, man.
Yeah,
you guys. All right, going on to the next story now.
All right. So actually, Jared, you have our next story. So go ahead, sir.
I assume both of you have played the Crisis games at some point, or I hope you have for as much time as you. So I was very excited that we were getting a Crisis 4, but there's not much news around this right now because obviously it's still fresh, and I'm sure for privacy reasons they don't want to release too much around it. But Crisis 4 has been put on pause for development after Crytek announces layoffs. They haven't said why they were laid off or anything like that, and we haven't got any type of update on when Crisis 4 may be getting put back into production, anything as promises, release dates, anything like that. To this day, Crisis Remastered will still light your PC on fire if you're not careful. So I was very excited to see how Crisis 4 was going to look, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see now. So,
I'm sure it'll give those 5090s another reason to start melting people's motherboards.
All those fake frames.
I know, right? Anyways, I actually bought Crisis 1 through 3 remastered for Justin now on PlayStation, but I haven't actually booted them up yet, so we'll have to see how.
I love the Crisis games. Crisis 3 was on 360. I know Crisis 3 is like a hot take for being a good Crisis game, but I loved Crisis 3.
Well, you're a hot take.
Thank you.
Anyways, all right, so let's I feel like every week I've brought some sort of disappointing Nintendo news, so I feel like
Imagine Nintendo being disappointing. I never would have imagined.
I'm going to continue this trend. So Nintendo has bad news for players around the Switch game vouchers. Have any of you ever bought one of the Switch game vouchers where you can buy it at $100 and essentially you get $120 of game? Like you basically get 2 games for $100, and they're usually first-party Nintendo titles, right? Well, if you have any of those already just waiting to be spent and you're thinking, oh, I'll just wait until the Switch 2 comes out and I will take advantage of that when Switch 2 games drop. Well, bad news. Nintendo Switch game vouchers won't work on Switch 2 exclusives, so sorry. Vouchers offered...
That is the scummiest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, vouchers offered at $100 allow Nintendo Switch Online members to save on first-party titles. While Switch 2 games are not eligible... speculation suggests cross-platform titles may still be included, but it's kind of scummy.
My guess is they want to use that launch window to get you to buy everything at full price. I think it'll probably work at some point.
They'll probably have some new vouchers specifically for Switch 2 if I was guessing, but yeah, that's just kind of scummy. Even if they were like, oh, if you want to roll this voucher into like a Switch 2 voucher, we'll give you 80 instead of 100. Like even like an option would be nice. But the fact that there is no option, or if they say you can use these Switch titles on Switch games that we're bringing over, but we're also like upgrading, right? Like, so like if there's a Switch 2 version of, Tears of the Kingdom or whatever, like it'd be nice to at least let you use those on games that are just getting upgraded essentially, but we'll see. And then also one of the things that I'm more excited to talk about, Jared, I know that you play you play Magic the Gathering, or you know how to play Magic the Gathering, right? Or do you just have it for the sake of having it? Okay. Well, I see you to have it. This still doesn't answer
Still in
the
the
question.
box. He's never even opened it.
That's a brand new commander deck I just got. I actually have the sleeves for it back here. My case is in the living room, but this will make my 6th commander deck I have. And then I have a whole row of cards over here that are all out of collector boosters. So,
got you. Well, Magic the Gathering, for those of you that are Final Fantasy fans, they announced that they're actually going to be releasing some Final Fantasy commander decks and also cards as well. So Magic the Gathering gave us our first look at that. There's going to be a crossover. It's going to consist of characters from Final Fantasy 6, 7, 10, and 14. With is it Terra, Cloud, Tidus, and Yolstola?
Ishtola from 14.
Yolstola. Oh yeah, I forgot. I skipped a couple expansions in that, so who knows?
Oh my god.
Each deck will contain 100 cards, including reprints of existing cards. This time they'll have obviously some Final Fantasy art involved, as well as brand new cards. If you haven't seen some of the art, it's really cool. They released like a teaser video where they actually interview Yoshi P, which is pretty cool to see.
I saw the Cloud one yesterday. It does look pretty awesome.
The Tidus one looks pretty dope too, though. He's just a colorful character in general, anyways. His clothes and whatnot, but pretty excited to see that. I don't know if any of you, Justin, I know that you're a bigger Final Fantasy fan than probably Jared for sure. And then I'm just really kind of getting into it. But as a Magic the Gathering fan and a Final Fantasy 14 fan, I do believe I will be partaking in some of these as well. You don't play Magic at all, do you, though, Justin?
Nah, not for me.
Be ready to spend some money. Some $60 commander decks and some $30 collector boosters. So.
But commander decks, you at least get 2 decks normally, right?
No. Commander decks, you get...
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
because if you're buying a commander deck, you're playing commander format, so your 100 cards are for one commander deck.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, well, let's go ahead and move forward. So we have some topics this week to get into discussion. I just had a question because, here recently with just health stuff I got going on, and just with my move, and then also being sick now, I've been trying to play some video games, which Last of Us 2 is not one of them, but I've been thinking about video games that you can play that kind of help you relax. What are some of your go-to games, just to help you relax, that you just enjoy playing, that just kind of put you in a state of zen where you don't have to do much thinking? And Justin, you can't say Animal Crossing, so I'm just going to take that away from you right now.
I wasn't going to.
Okay, good. But what are your go-to comfort games, I guess?
I mean, for me, for just a comfort game, a newer one that's been out is TCG Card Shop Simulator.
Which I need to go back to and see what kind of updates they've had.
It's just, it doesn't require too much brain power. Your desk is moving. It just doesn't require too much brain power. It's one of those games I can just kind of set down, let go, and play. Other than that, I really don't have a game that I play just to relax with, because kind of like you said, how you're obviously playing through Last of Us, but that's not necessarily a relaxing game. I've been replaying Red Dead. I'm not going to sit and say that that's the most relaxing thing with the tuberculosis simulator, but that's my thing. It's too soon. But yeah, that's really it for me. Is probably just TCG Card Shop Simulator, just because it's a mindless kind of numbing game. Either that, or I take that back, the new SimCity, the city builder game that came out on Game Pass not too long ago, but
Skylines or something like that.
City Skylines. Yep. That's another game just because it's satisfying. So out of everything, that's probably the 2 I would have to go with.
For me, I do enjoy any type of simulator game. I like the Power Wash Simulator. There's lawn mowing simulator, any of those where you can just turn your brain off. Farming simulator is extremely just kind of cozy. I enjoy those, but also
how many dicks have you drawn in the crops though? Let me ask you that question.
None. That thought has never crossed my mind until you said it just now.
How many are you going to draw after we get done recording?
So many. I'm gonna be like
Infinite
Jonah
hits.
Hill in Superbad with his little notebook.
Yeah.
But no, none. But also like Marvel Snap. I love Marvel Snap. I play it way too much. In fact, in 7 minutes, the battle pass resets for the week, and I can cash in some of my missions. I'm pretty pumped to do that.
Nice.
Yeah.
For me, I would also have to say Trading Card Simulator. Also really like Power Wash Simulator as well. But one of the games that I really like to do is I like going in creative mode in like Sims and just building. Like building houses and rooms and decorating and that type of stuff tend to just kind of make me chill. So I do really like that. And also I've been I put it to my wish list, but I did also the same company that I think is doing Trading Card Simulator is doing a coffee shop simulator. So I will be owning a
Justin
coffee shop at some
immediately
point.
spun around to his other monitor to take a look at that for you, Travis.
It might not be the exact same. It might not be the same creator, but there definitely is one that I've wish listed that looks basically like Trading Card Simulator.
Now,
Um,
another one that's kind of sorry to interrupt you, Travis. Go ahead. I thought you were.
no, yeah, I'm good. Go ahead.
It's one of those things I don't play it all the time. Like it has to be like that 2 week span in the year where I just get the itch to play it. But Minecraft on creative mode also a good time. But like I said, Minecraft is weird for me. Like it's not something I can sit there and play constantly. Like it might be 2 weeks out of the year where I'm just like, yeah, I'll reinstall Minecraft and play it for a while. Then after that, I'm just like, I don't play this anymore. I'll uninstall it.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
Travis,
But
how do you
yeah,
keep
so
that wish list on Steam so tidy?
because I don't wish list a ton of stuff. What?
You have
Is your
100, or yeah, sorry, you have 11. I have 144.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Mine's more of like a reminder.
I have like 15. How
Yeah.
many of those wish listed on Travis's that were sex with Hitler?
Let me look.
I
Two of
really
them.
want to get that.
Two.
I really want to get that dad dating simulator that's modeled after KFC, like Colonel Sanders Dad Simulator. Have you ever looked that one up?
I
Look it
think we're
up.
on I think we're on a different algorithm, Travis.
My
Oh,
question is,
okay.
why are you stuttering now that Justin and I both looked at you
I said, I
really
said,
concerned?
I said, I'm gonna sit on you.
This
Anyway,
Hawthorne game looks very cozy. Or your little mouse?
I know. Yeah, that one. It's not out yet, though, is it?
No.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. But anyways, Jared, I think you have our next topic.
All right, so this was a hot topic a few years ago, and I'm sure it's something that still circles around. I know that I have my thoughts on it. I just want to hear your all's thoughts as well. But GTA, the developers of GTA, Rockstar, obviously came out and said that I'm sure they got cornered with the question, but they were asked if they were worried about GTA causing an uptick in violence, which takes us back to the old adage of video games causing violence. But I will go ahead and give you my answer. No, I don't believe that video games do cause violence, and I just kind of want to hear your all's opinion on it.
Uh, I don't necessarily think so. I think mental health is a bigger issue that goes beyond just video games, personally.
Mhm.
I mean, if you look at the Columbine shooting back in the day, they went bowling before they went and murdered a bunch of people. So you could say bowling also makes people violent as well, right?
Makes
I
me
think,
violent.
yeah. So I think it
You
honestly
ever
just
got a
comes,
7-10 split? Yeah, it makes me pretty.
Ah.
yeah. So I think it honestly just comes down to, you know, mental health issues. I don't necessarily think that video game. Now, do I think that it could cause some behavior issues? Yes, but do I think it helps incite violence? I don't really think so.
Yep.
What do you think, Justin?
No, I think it does kind of boil down. I feel like if a kid is playing GTA and then goes up and shoots up a school, right? I don't think GTA sparked that kid to do that. I think that kid definitely
The
had
environment.
issues prior to
Yeah.
that were not being taken care of. GTA may have been like the spark that lit the fuse, but like it definitely wasn't the fuse itself. You know what I mean? Which you can't blame violent video games for that. It could be anything. It could be them getting bullied. It could be them watching a violent movie. It could be anything.
That
I
was
don't
good.
think, huh?
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't think you can blame any form of media for actually causing violence. Now,
That's what I was about to say too. Is I always hate whenever because it's not ever media causes violence. Like nobody wants to talk about the music, the movies, the TV shows. It's always video games that
Because
are
our
to blame.
grandparents aren't playing video games.
Correct. That's exactly what it is. It's always everything else. It's always video games that are causing violence. So
Yeah. Yeah, and I think too, I think the big thing is, to your all's point, is I think that a lot of it comes from the environment that that child is raised in. It comes more from their home life. It comes more from their background, how they get treated at home, all that stuff. I think it's just easy to paint a target on violent video games instead of addressing the real issue personally.
Yep.
So, all right. Justin, you had a topic?
Yeah, so I talked about SNL 50 a little bit ago. They just celebrated their 50th anniversary. So I want to ask you, what has been your favorite sketch, host, musical performance, just anything from the show's history that stuck with you?
I've got
Jimmy,
mine.
go ahead.
Mine is, it's not a specific one. It's a skit that's been running for a long time, but the updates, the news updates.
Joke swap?
Yeah.
Yeah, joke swap's so good.
Joke swap
Yes.
is probably my favorite thing because like just the fact that both of them are going in blind.
Yeah.
And they have so much trust in one another that they'll just read whatever comes up there, and they get by with saying some things because the other person wrote it that nobody else would, and it's always just the funniest thing to me, and I love it so much.
Yeah.
When he gets I can never remember his name. The one that's married to Scarlett Johansson.
Colin Gist.
When he makes him say racist jokes when there's a person they bring on that's like a rights activist or whatever, that's a woman of color, I'm like, oh no.
And he gets very embarrassed by it too, which makes it, because he gets the nervous laugh, and it's the best.
Yeah. For me, I actually have three favorite skits, I think. The alien abduction ones that usually have
Kate McKinnon.
Yeah, her, and then also when the guy that plays Ken, what's his
Ryan
name?
Gosling.
Yeah, when they
did one of those together, on the 50th.
Oh my god. Yeah, and I heard Meryl Streep was her mom.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. I love that. I also love, did they call it the Californians?
Yeah.
I love the Californian skit. I think that's hilarious. And then obviously there's I love when Justin Timberlake and Jimmy Fallon do like Barry Gibbs.
Oh, the Barry Gibbs talk show. I wish they could have done that.
Yeah, it's so good. But those are probably my top three favorite that I always go back to, and I just laugh. I just laugh about it. And then obviously the era of the Lonely Island stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, that stuff has been incredible. So what about you?
More recently, John Mulaney has been doing this New York musical bit where they do this big musical performance. And they did one on the 50th as well. That kind of felt like it was closing the chapter, but there's been like a handful of them and they're really good. There's also one sketch from, it looks like 2014, called Blue River Dog Food. This is one of my favorite sketches. It's Seth Rogen and Cecily Strong. And it's like a dog food commercial, but it derails into her like having a psychotic break during the commercial. And it's the funniest thing, and she sells that so well. And then I'm going to pivot a little bit to a musical guest. I really, really like the Arcade Fire's musical performance. They got one of the rare, a few years ago, one of the rare 3 performances. They actually closed the show out, which was really cool. And also Phoebe Bridgers a few years ago had a really good performance where she played I Know the End and smashed her guitar, and it was like a really cool moment. So those are probably my big ones right now.
One more to add to it. May he rest in peace. But any skit with Norm Macdonald.
Ah, Norm. Yes.
Yeah, Norm was good.
They had some good Norm callbacks in the 50th.
So I haven't watched the special yet, but the night before that, they had like this big document series. I think that was on NBC that was happening. And it's just crazy to think like somebody compared it to kind of like a time capsule of the last 50 years of America. And that was really well like stated, because I never really thought about all the different things that's happened throughout the 50 years. And like they said, you can always kind of tell like what was going on in the country just based on the vibe of the actual show, which I thought was pretty cool. But all right, cool. Those are great topics. Thanks for bringing those. We're going to do one quick hot take because Justin missed so many hot takes last week. He was not here to participate. So I'm going to let you pick a number between 1 and 6.
Me?
Yes, you.
Okay. Let's do 3.
Okay, now give me a number between 1 and 10.
7. We had some
Okay.
breaking news just come through. If you want me to tell you,
Yeah, okay.
the vibe. That's not the vibe. Wario64 just said that Marvel Rivals director and team has been laid off.
What? I
Yeah,
wonder if it has something to do with the current administration. That's a Chinese developer, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean
A bunch of the developers and people are posting that they just got laid off and they're looking for work.
That's nuts, actually.
The game was doing so well. What's
it's
happening?
doing phenomenal. I don't know. I have no clue.
But so we don't really know what the current state of the game is, though, do we?
I mean, it's released.
It's out.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but we don't know if it's going to go away or keep. That's so weird.
It'll stay. I mean, it's probably making way too much money to go away.
Maybe they just needed them through the launch, and now they're like KP Spy.
Yeah. Well, sorry, but to kill the vibe of the hot take.
All right, so television is better at storytelling than movies because it has more time to develop characters.
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay, tell me more.
When you think about some of the most probably profound things that you've watched and connected with over the last 10 years, and this hasn't always been the case, I don't think. I think it's something that shifted more with our streaming services picking up. But I think that television is the place to be now. You're seeing big A-list actors gravitate towards television as a medium because it's so prestigious now. Didn't used to be that way, but it definitely is now. I mean, I think of some of the greatest stories I've heard or experienced, and it's like Lost, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Severance at the moment, which could be, who knows how that'll end up. But yeah. I mean, I just think about all these Barry. I think about these shows that like I've really resonated with and really cared about. And like, yeah, there's movies that I really care about too, but I'm only with those characters for 2 hours on a good day, right? I'm with these other characters maybe for 40 hours or 50 hours or 100 hours if I'm lucky. Yeah. So I definitely think TV that lets you build more of a relationship with the characters.
Yeah. Jared, you just going to say everything Justin said?
No, I'm going to say no.
Verbatim. Oh, crap.
So reason I think each one has their own time and place, right? Like I'm not going to sit here like, obviously I've mentioned it many times, like one of my favorite TV shows is MASH. MASH, there was a movie of it. TV show blows the movie out of the water, in my opinion. Band of Brothers is probably still to this day one of the best miniseries that's ever come out on TV. But I'm also not going to sit here and discount what we've gotten with like Lord of the Rings, for example. Now, like your argument with that was that we spend a lot more time in front of a TV screen when we're going through a series, which arguably, yes, like hours wise, series could be 40 hours. Spent 12 hours watching Lord of the Rings extended editions. And with that, you still get that feeling of like you know the entire story. And I think that's where I kind of struggle to say one is better than the other because I'm not going to disagree with you. Breaking Bad, fantastic. Band of Brothers, fantastic. Severance, obviously, great. But then I don't want to discount what we've gotten with film because Indiana Jones, up until the last 2 movies, fantastic. Lord of the Rings, fantastic. You know, it's just I feel like there's way too much out there to say that one is 100% better than the other whenever you're still able to tell a story that way, even if it's not in a single movie, but if we have a trilogy, right? Because
and I'll argue against myself here real quick. The Marvel movies prior up to Endgame. Yeah. I mean, you could almost view those as 20 movies, but like we spent 20 hours. No, we spent 40 hours with these characters to build up to this big epic event. And now we have the TV shows that aren't as good. So, I mean, I don't think it is maybe I shouldn't have committed so hard to TV because I do think it is situational. I do think it's very much situational. Like when we get the Harry Potter TV show on HBO, I think there's a really good chance it'll be better than the movies simply because you're taking these huge books, condensing it to 2 hours for a movie, but now I'm going to get a full season where they don't have to leave anything out. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's a good chance from just a storytelling perspective, it could be better.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with a little bit with both of you. I think it depends on the story that you're trying to tell. Honestly, to Jared's point, I've seen some miniseries that, like, when I think about Chernobyl, Chernobyl was phenomenal, but it was a miniseries, right? I connected with the characters, I cared about them. But obviously, I've watched Lost too, and that was how many seasons, Justin? 8? Six. Felt like 8 because they were like 25 episode seasons, but
only the first 3 seasons were long.
Oh god. You can tell I've watched it maybe twice.
You need to watch it at least 100 times before you die.
I know. But I really do think it depends on the story you're trying to tell. I was going to actually bring up the point about the Marvel Cinematic Universe leading up to Endgame. Like, that's probably the best we've ever seen it done. I don't even know if they'll ever be able to do that again.
I have serious doubts.
We've seen DC try to do that same formula, but they've also obviously felt like we're playing catch up, right? So we've seen them fumble the ball time and time again, but we'll see what James Gunn can do with the DC universe. I'm pretty excited about Superman. But yeah, I think I don't necessarily think it's a crystal clear yes or a no. I think it just really depends on the story. I am excited to see what they do with Harry Potter as well. But there's also some things I think that they've let go for too long that could have been shorter as well. So I think it really just depends on the stories, the character, and what they're trying to tell. So, all right. Well, that was a good question. So good pick, Justin. Let's go ahead and get into pick of the week and wrap this jewel up. So.
Oh, we just want to skip looking ahead.
Let's get into looking ahead instead.
He just didn't write anything for that, so
yeah, he just fuck our answers, right? But
no, go ahead, Jared.
So coming up this week, I'm actually very excited. Which I'm usually not into like gory horror movies outside of like Terrifier, but The Monkey comes out this week, and I'm not sure if you all have seen the trailers for it, but I'm very excited. Based off the Stephen King short story, looks really good. Other than that, this actually wasn't on my list. Thank you, Justin, for pointing out to me it came out today, but I'm actually in the process of installing it while we're recording this, but playing some Avowed as well. Definitely looking forward to that.
All right. What about you, Justin?
So I'm definitely not going to get to all of these probably anytime soon, but maybe some of them. February, we have a ton of games that are coming out. I know we've talked about this before, but we have Avowed, we have Like a Dragon, Pirate,
Like
Yakuza, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, Monster Hunter Wilds, PGA 2K25. We've got Assassin's Creed Shadows next month. We have a ton of games coming out just like in the next 30 days. So I'm excited to try some of those. I did play the Monster Hunter Wilds beta. I really enjoyed it. Was it good? Yeah. I'm excited for it.
I played the last Monster Hunter that came out. I played maybe 2 hours of it because it's when I had crap internet whenever I still lived at my old house and couldn't play with anybody. So I'm excited to try this one out if you ought to be interested. So.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for it.
It's cross-platform too, which is good.
I was also in a network test for a highly popular upcoming game, and I did not like it.
NDA?
I don't know if I'm in an NDA or not.
Better not be Battlefield.
It's not.
Okay, good.
I don't know if it's an NDA. No, they were streaming it.
Well, you can just tell us afterwards. It's fine.
Yeah, just in case.
Yeah, that's why I said NDA. I was like,
Yeah, people were streaming it, so I don't think so, but we'll talk after. If you want to know, it had a popular network test recently. That's the one.
Understood.
But I'm really pumped for these games. I'll probably hold off on Like a Dragon. But Monster Hunter Wilds and Avowed will probably be... I'm definitely going to play Avowed this evening, probably. At least try it out, see how it feels. And then, that was a good edit. But that's what I'm looking forward to. What about you, Travis?
For me, looking forward to... I keep bringing it up, but looking forward to getting through surgery about my ear on March 12th. We have secured a family vacation on April 21st to the 25th.
Where are we going, brother?
Going to Gatlinburg.
Nice.
The brother.
Yeah. The popular place that everybody from West Virginia goes if it's not the beach. So we're going there. My
What are
girlfriend
you talking
Amelia,
about? There's only
she's
two
actually.
places that exist outside of West Virginia. It's Myrtle Beach and Gatlinburg. What do you
I
mean?
know, right? I know. But she's actually never been. So that'll be fun for her. And then outside of that, looking forward to Monster Hunter Wilds, and I think and also, seeing where Severance goes after
Oh yeah,
episode 6.
Yeah.
so
Because
scared.
it's been getting interesting for sure.
How many
All right,
seasons do you think Severance is gonna go?
I hope no more than 3.
I think 3. I mean, they're just moving so fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they really are. They really are. So, all right. Well, let's go ahead and get into picks of the week now that I know the order of how things are supposed to go. So, Justin, we'll start with you.
Yeah, my pick of the week is Severance. It's the one constant thing in my life right now that the second it's over, I'm thinking about it. I'm listening to podcasts about it. I'm theorizing about it. I'm looking at other people's thoughts and theories. It's one of those big like epic event series where like you can't help but talk about it with the community as it airs, and you guys are really fighting over these notes here. And those of you wondering what's happening, Travis and Jared are fighting under Travis's pick of the week to get it to say something. Travis, what does that say?
Big old wiener.
Oh, that's your pick of the week.
No, I have 2 picks of the week.
Okay.
Two big old wieners.
But Severance is my pick. Travis, why don't you go and get into your pick of the week since we started? Oh my God. I cannot believe you did that.
Travis is going skiing, boys.
God bless.
You already know.
And now he's got fireworks.
All right. So my pick of the week, because I was so impressed by how good the movie was Paddington, because it's better than Captain America, Brave New World, both story-wise and special effects-wise, and big old wiener. So.
All right. Jared wrote the words, quote, big ol' wiener after.
Well, it was just wiener, then he kept deleting it, so then he got big ol' added onto it. So.
Big ol'.
Paddington's big old wiener.
Oh, no.
I think I found the episode title.
I think you did too.
Yeah.
On that note, my pick of the week is, as much as I have to gripe about it and as much as I think some things need to change with it, I think it's got a really solid basis for being good. But Civ 7, Civilization has always been one of those games that I really enjoy, but it definitely has some room to grow, and I look forward to seeing where they can take it, because obviously I paid for the version that gives me the expansions as well, so I'm hopeful. So we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, does anybody have anything else to add before we close out this joint?
Nope.
I think I'm good.
Well, as always, we thank you for listening and watching and joining in, however you choose to. We do ask that you like, subscribe, and make sure, more importantly, to share us with your friends. And if you have any comments, please make sure to leave them below. And until next time, peace.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Nerds with Mics. If you enjoyed today's deep dive into all things nerdy, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please make sure not to forget to leave us a review wherever you listen or watch. Your feedback always helps us grow. And if you know a fellow nerd that would love the show, share it with them. Until next time, stay nerdy, stay awesome, and keep those mics on.